Hi, I'm John Hart. Welcome back to Official John Hart. The best, I mean the best, high intensity technique that Mike Mentzer ever used and recommended, Arthur Jones of Nautilus Equipment ever used and recommended. These guys started a movement back in the 70s and 80s, and there was one technique in particular that was used regularly in all their workouts. And when Mike trained me, we used it. I took it, I ran with it as well. And it did bring some of the best gains of my training life, I know. And it did, in fact, build Mike Mentzer up when he went from amateur to professional using high intensity training. Arthur Jones, going back before Mike Mentzer, he built those big blue machines, those Nautilus fitness equipment machines, and they all relied on this technique. What was it? It was called pre-exhaust. Pre-exhaust is where you go from doing an isolation exercise, like a leg extension when you're doing your legs, and you go immediately to doing a compound movement, such as a leg press or such as a squat. If you go direct from a leg extension to the squat, and Arthur Jones, both Arthur Jones and Mike Mentzer both recommended doing that combination immediately back to back with as little rest as possible. As in, if you can get in there in under 5 seconds from the leg extension to the leg press, from the leg extension to the squat, which is difficult to get in under 5 seconds on that one. Either one though, if you get in under 5 seconds, you're assured that the target muscle, the quads, are pre-exhausted to such a point where when you do go to do that leg press, there's not going to be much left in there. And you're relying on the hamstring and the hips, the glutes, hip flexors, all to assist and push those quads further than they would have gone with just having done the compound movement. Now, this thing about going from one to the other with no rest, this seems to have gotten lost over the last 25 years since Mike has been gone. Mike passed away in 2001. However, and it's no longer even mentioned as a part of high intensity training. That's the thing, is I'm a YouTuber. Okay, I'm a YouTuber, as well as having been a competitive natural bodybuilder. And I've had my career, I've lived the life, won my titles and now in retirement, okay, from natural bodybuilding. 61 at this point, and still training very hard and still using that technique. And because I can see on YouTube how many people define high intensity training and how this is just left right out. Anytime somebody describes their workouts, there is no pre-exhaust being mentioned unless they're following high intensity training the Mike Mentzer way, which is one of the last books that was written after Mike died, or published after he died, I should say. Edited and published after he died. So the pre-exhaust that I'm talking about, Mike used quite often, and so did Arthur Jones, on many body parts. It's not just the quads that I just mentioned. Here's another one for you on the chest. Dumbbell flies or pec deck as an isolation movement, immediately followed by a press. Incline presses Mike liked the most. The lats, a pullover, as in a pullover machine, immediately followed by a pull down. The pullover didn't use the biceps. The pull down used both the biceps and the lats. So it was assumed this was going to be the compound movement. We've since kind of gathered that the pullover and the pull down both use the long head of your tricep as well. So that's getting worked along with the lat quite a bit. But that bicep, is being preserved until it's being used on the pull down. So there we have several examples. Another one, shoulders. Dumbbell laterals as an isolation movement, or machine laterals for the side delt, immediately followed by an overhead press. So the delts would be completely wasted, and then you go into the overhead press, your triceps are fresh. So you go ahead and start pressing away, and it pushes the delts much further than they would have gone having just done the overhead press on its own. Triceps, tricep pushdowns, immediately followed by dips, or a close grip bench press. pre-exhausting the triceps. Isolation movement immediately followed by the compound movement. So that's it right there. Even on biceps, he used it early on when he trained me. He had me doing a machine curl, like a Nautilus curl, immediately followed by chin-ups with a curl grip like this. So a close curl grip with my palms facing me, all the way down, all the way up. So immediately, one to the other, with as little rest as possible, without hesitation. And the numbers that he used to cite, as well as what Arthur Jones used to cite, was they used to say that if you took more than 5 seconds after having done the isolation movement, you literally, that target muscle group has literally recovered at least 50% of its original strength, and you've effectively wasted a perfectly good pre-exhaust set by stalling. That's it, if you took more than 5 seconds. I get that, but at the same time, if you were to do a leg extension, then hobble over to a squat rack and quickly get under it and pick up that bar and then unlock your knees and start squatting and do it in under 10 seconds, let's say, and then compared workout to workout to workout, doing the same type of workout, immediately going from leg extension to the squat, well, relatively speaking, you're going to get a pre-exhaust effect, and you're going to go ahead and get the benefit of it over time by being able to see the progression of your strength in the form of more added weight or more repetitions performed. So it's just a fact that if you did leg extensions and got over to a squat rack in under 10 seconds and got under that bar and unlocked those knees, there's no way your quads, if it's taken to absolute momentary muscular failure, at least the concentric, at least on that leg extension, there's no way you're fully recovered by the time you made it over to the squat rack. So you are gaining that benefit. So this technique I found to be brutal, okay? I found it not only to be brutal, but very productive. And it definitely helped to make the muscles grow. So I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why it fell by the wayside over these last 25 years, why it's not mentioned much in high intensity circles, except for when you do mention, Mike Mentzer's ideal routine or one of his most recent routines before he died. But short of that, it's just not mentioned, not hardly at all. That's it. So Mike Mentzer's most productive high intensity technique, pre-exhaust. It can almost slip under the radar if you read all of this stuff and, get caught up in all the rest of it. But this was, in fact, one of the most productive techniques that he did use. That's it. So I hope you get something out of this. I hope you do apply it in your training and you try and see exactly what it feels like. It's pretty amazing when you do it. Again, I would keep those numbers in mind when you're talking about going from an isolation exercise to the compound. Try to get to that compound movement and get moving under that weight in under 5 seconds if possible, but if not, under 10 seconds, and jump on that thing and get going in really good form. And man, it will rock you and rock your muscles. And that's it for today. From my heart to you, John Hart. Hey, listen, before you go, off to my left, you're going to see this disc pop up. That is the subscribe button for my channel. Please give that thing a tap. Let the YouTube algorithm know how much you like my videos. And the next time I have a new video pop up, you can get to see it. It'll let you know it right away. It'll pop up in your feed. Down below and off to your left, you're going to see a thumbs up button. Please give that thing a tap. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you want it just to light up and push these videos of mine. It lights it up and it lights me up too. I'll see you in the next video.